Welcome to the Scottish Property Podcast. This is a show where we aim to educate, inspire and entertain through real life stories and interviews from people in the Scottish property community.
As always, thanks for listening and give us a follow on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to join us at our monthly networking events on the first Wednesday of every month. Tickets are available on our website. So without further ado, we'll just cut straight into this week's podcast.
Welcome to the hot seat, Wullie Thomson.
Thanks for the invite, Stephen.
Thank you, pal. Cheers for joining us.
Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, Nick.
This my other business as well, and like the property training, like, I love it because I get to meet guys like yourself, genuine guys that have built something fucking phenomenal, and I've got a good story to tell. And I know you're early on in your property journey, and you're going to share that with us. But one of the stuff I want to talk about is that, like, you built up an incredible business that a malt business. And exited for a decent figure that's now brought you into property investment. So you've got a good story, pal. So thanks so much for joining and obviously sharing it as well. So I appreciate that.
No bother, mate.
Mate, let's just start at the beginning then. Tell folk like where you're from and how life began for you.
Aye, I'm from a small place called Shotts, North Lanarkshire. Born and bred there. Grew up just pretty normal teenager, young guy in that. Got a younger sister, and I just didn't leave school with much.
No.
To be honest with you. No.
What was aspirations when you first left school? Like, what did you want to do?
I wasn't really sure, to be honest with you. I knew I didn't want to work for somebody. Always had it that I would work for myself, because I always had wee jobs throughout school, whether it be delivering Chinese meals at the weekend. I started that when I was around about 12, 13. And I spent every weekend right through my high school years working every Friday, Saturday night. When all my mates were, being 14, 15-year-old lads, getting drunk down the park and everything else that comes with that. I was out working, and get out my crosser bike at the weekends. That was my adrenaline rush then.
Talking about Chinese, you make me hungry now, man. What'd you get from the Chinese, if you don't mind me asking?
God, where do you start? I like trying new things. My thing now is a beef and onion.
Oh, aye.
I like a beef and onion, but I like all the black bean dishes. And
see, I like the crispy beef.
It's making me hungry now. I'm trying
that sweet sauce, but.
What was the first venture into business then, if you like or working for yourself?
Well, I was a self-employed taxi driver when I was about 18. Right. If I left school, I delivered the Chinese food through. I was about 17, and I was doing other things. I was working on the side with guys on building sites, lifting like plasterboard up stairwells and just shifting materials about sites and that. Just doing the lackey jobs.
Crafting.
Then when I got my driving licence, 17, I then had my first kid. So I thought I need to try and get a bit of stability here with some income. So I started driving taxis. And I've done that on and off for 5 years.
Was that like private hire? That was
just private hire, yeah, just round about the Shotts.
So obviously you see some sights in that job as well, don't you?
Especially at the weekends.
Aye, the weekends. And was it locally round about Shotts and stuff, or going into Glasgow?
It was mostly Shotts, but we used to get hires going all over the place, out of Shotts, Bathgate, Motherwell, Hamilton, Glasgow, a lot of airport hires and things like that, so... Yeah.
You weren't scared of a bit of graft, and you kind of working all hours in that job as well?
No, do you know, that's probably the story behind my success is the graft, because I'm not very talented at much things, to be honest with you. And as I say, I was uneducated when I left school, but I always had a knack of finding ways of making money. I've always, whatever I've done, I've always been able to turn that into.
This is why I was wanting to get you on the podcast, and I knew you were a wee bit apprehensive to come on as well, but and the people that you meet as well, like when like someone's got that hard work, that grit, that determination in them. I'm like, I know Willie's got day loads in property, so why not get him on at the start of the journey? Listen to it in a couple of years' time, we'll get you back on, and I know, like, it'll be a different story. So, so what happened after the taxiing? And
well, as I say, I done that for about 5 years. It was on and off, and I used to buy and sell a lot of cars and vans, and I've always dealt with accident damaged vehicles and things like that, so I used to enjoy it, I used to
fix them up, sell them on.
It's always an extra wee bit of income for us, and I then got presented with an opportunity when I was 23, and it was a family was selling a local milk delivery round in my hometown. And I thought, I can see me doing that.
How did you hear about these things? It's like word of mouth, like that.
It was just word of mouth. Shot's a small place.
Yeah.
You know, there was a bit of rivalry going on between that firm and another firm. So one of them was looking to exit. So I stepped in, took over, and
See what I'm interested in though. Obviously, before that, you've not really got any experience in business or anything like that, or running business, have you? So going into that and taking over and running it, were you brought in as a kind of manager almost, or
no? I was my own independent milkman. That's what it was. It was
So you buy the runs that they've already secured the business for?
There was only one run,
right?
And it was only round about the area of Shots,
Right.
And I had a couple of schoolboys
delivering away, and
they were the milkmen, milk boys, you know. So they came out at say 4 a.m, worked through to 6, then they'd go to school.
do you go around in the wee cart thing, milk van thing?
It's funny you say that, because when I started, it was transit vans and things like
Right.
that. But later on in the journey, as the business progressed and I started getting marketing strategies and things like that, what I done is I sourced an electric milk float we are talking about.
Aye.
And I became the only dairy in Scotland to have a functioning on the road milk delivery electric milk float, which funny enough, Billy Connolly hired out off of me. And
Seriously?
it's in Billy Connolly's book, a picture of him standing with my electric milk float.
What was that, for a photo shoot or something?
It was the BBC were doing a story in the life of Billy Connolly.
Aye.
Because he used to be a milkman.
Right, yeah.
Somewhere in Glasgow. I don't know if it was.
That's brilliant.
Don't know if it was Castle Milk or something. I can't remember what area of Glasgow, but Billy Connolly, when he was a younger man, he used to be a milkman. So they were doing a story in the life of Billy Connolly. So they were trying to secure a milk delivery vehicle for that era. And of course, I was the only person that had one in Scotland.
You had a chance to meet him though?
No, because I was in Blackpool at the time with my family.
Aye.
So I had a management team in place at the time. They took it through. They would have to take it in a recovery truck because it wouldn't have got through to Glasgow and back.
Not got enough electricity.
The battery
So it's
charger.
kind of used as a kind of prop almost for the filming.
So it's on. You see the BBC do reruns of the programme, and you see my milk float in the background. And
Did it have your name on it? No?
Your branding on it.
It didn't before the BBC wanted to hire it.
Aye.
Every single angle when it went to them, you could see our logo.
We had somebody on the podcast. Was it the twins? One of the twins got run over by a milk float, a milk cart. They used to do the runs as well.
I think it's quite funny though, because like even though you mentioned Billy Connolly, like a lot of the people that you get on here and they talk about their jobs, their schoolboys was the paper runs or the milk runs, and it's one of those common traits of folk that have got a bit of graft and a bit of hustle that early on they get a job as a milkman.
Absolutely. As you say that, most of the hard working boys I see there now, most of them had jobs as milk boys or even paper rounds and things like that.
Paper round.
Do you know it teaches discipline at that age? Because I mean, what time did you hear the young boys out? Fucking 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like
4 in the morning,
like,
I picked them up.
It takes discipline to get up at that time in the morning before you go to school and get a few hours shift in.
No, absolutely. And you know,
It'd be hard trying to get that now though, is it?
That's
not?
what you say,
Like
imagine.
trying to get young ones. Have you got kids yourself?
I've got 4 daughters.
Do any of them go up before in the morning to come and help you?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
So, like, how do you value something like that when you're buying it? And what would you think? Well, fuck this is valuable. This milk run.
Well, when I bought it,
Aye.
well, at the time I didn't have a clue. To be honest with you.
What were they wanting for at the time?
Well, if truth be told, they were giving us it for free because there was a bit of conflict going on between the two rival companies at the time, and the one I ended up buying it from had enough, so they were ready just to abandon.
Sounds a wee bit like the ice cream wars here.
That's been mentioned many times.
Milk wars.
Aye. So I picked it up for it was only a few grand at the time, you know, and it was more just a token gesture because, as I say, I knew the family that was selling it. I knew them for many years, and at the time they were just happy that it wasn't, because they had a lot of
customers that
a lot of elderly people relying on the service and things like that. So they were happy that obviously these people have been looked after and
someone was taking it on.
They knew it was going into good hands with myself, you know. And don't get me wrong, it's when I used to meet them after that, when I did scale the business, they said, I can't believe you've turned it into what you've turned it into. And they were always championing me all the way, you know.
How many houses did it start with then?
So when we bought the run, it was about 350, 400 customers, which was okay. I was making a better living off that than I was from driving taxis.
Oh, were you straight away? Even like, aye.
Yeah, and I was only doing half the amount of hours.
Right. I suppose you're finished fucking for.
And I was making more money, you know, so.
So the milk comes from the dairies, drop it off, all ready to get delivered?
Yes, yes. This is what a lot of people used to get confused by. They used to think I was a farmer.
With the cows and that. Milking the cows.
Well, he's out milking the cows.
But guys like us, we're the middleman between the farmer and the consumer. Because farmers don't have time to then go and deliver milk. They're farming and taking care of their livestock and things like that. So we were the guys that would get the milk from the farmers, and then it would be our customer base we'd put the milk out to, you know.
Yeah.
So what was it? What was the kind of the chain of growth then for the business at the start? How did you see that you could grow that and you can make that a bigger business?
I messed about with it for about the first 5 years. I was just happy that I was
making an income.
I had more of a family life. I was making a better income. You know, I was enjoying it at that time because I'd spent a lot of my youthful years working, as I say, every weekend. So I know, and even in my early 20s, I was working taxis every weekend. So I was just glad to have a bit of life back, you know. And so I messed about for 5 years, and then I used to say to myself, I knew how many drops I was making in say a street, for example, and I used to think, I'll guarantee you if I go and check every one of the people that's not getting milk delivered, if I check their fridges, I bet there's milk in their fridges. How do I make that my milk? Which was then when I then went down the whole route of getting my doorstep canvassers in, putting a business plan in place, and then trying to grow. So we grew out from Shotts into like West Lothian, just started expanding everywhere out from Shotts into each town and village.
Just getting canvassers out there, chatting the doors, putting leaflets to the doors.
So it's like door-to-door sales. I'm sure.
No, absolutely. It was cold calling.
A lot of people listening will kind of be, know who you get round your door and all that, and then it's like.
How did you target that, and how did you make sure you had was the supply of milk an issue, or
no, the supply of milk was never an issue.
But how, like Stephen says, like it's like people are just going to, like, okay, traditional ways people get their milk delivered, that's very much traditional, is it? But then folks start just getting Tesco deliveries and all that, and how do you persuade, or not, what's the sales tactics to then get customers to stop buying at the supermarkets and start getting their milk from you?
No, absolutely. Our USP was the fact that it was a reusable glass bottle, and the amount of people that used to say to you, God, we used to get that delivered when we were kids. We didn't know you could still get them.
Aye.
Because you can't buy them in supermarkets or corner shops and things like that. You need
that's one. I had the tin foil hanging on the tap.
It's a different experience, isn't it, drinking out a glass bottle?
No, absolutely.
Straight. Not the same as the plastic.
So that was our USP. It was never price, but it was always quality of milk. It was always quality of service. Knowing you were supporting local farmers, knowing you were supporting local jobs, and you were doing a bit for reducing single-use plastic as well.
It's almost that backbone of the UK. What I came up with, like you say, like small businesses. Like David Hutton would love this conversation, wouldn't he? Like the small businesses that fucking
away from the corporations,
away from the big corporation. And that's almost you've reversed that from. Then go to your convenience store, fucking come and get it from us.
No, absolutely.
Would it be more expensive to buy from you? It would obviously be more expensive.
It is, yes. Yeah.
What sort of difference are we talking about, like in terms of those early, like? So when did you start like scaling it? What year?
I had a spurt of growth in 2012.
Right. Okay.
Through to 2015, 2016.
That's when you kind of went.
And I was hard. We were operating from the house at the time. And there was becoming more vans sitting. It was a small holding next to the farm, but there was more and more vans, more and more people coming to work, and I had residential neighbours. And of course, when we are delivering milk and loading vans and clinking crates of glass about and things like that, it's not 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So we're disturbing neighbours and things like that.
A few complaints come in, did they?
So, well, not really, but I knew it was going to come.
You knew it was going to annoy them.
And I knew the direction the business was going in, and I knew, we've outgrown this just now. So we then secured our first distribution depot in Wishaw.
Right. And we were sitting here.
Absolutely. And that was a 2,000 square foot unit. So the plan for that was we took a 5-year lease on it. with a view of hopefully outgrowing it within the 5 years. But after 2.5 years, we were bursting at the seams. We needed bigger premises, and a site came up in my hometown of Shotts, so we took that on, and that's like a 4,000 square foot unit with a massive yard, and we then just kept scaling the business for there.
Brilliant. At your peak, how many staff you got? What's the operation look like?
At the peak, we had 85 members of staff.
Wow.
We had 60 vehicles on the road.
60 vans.
We had 5 distribution depots across Scotland.
And obviously that size of business comes with its challenges, so
we had a full management structure in place. You know, we had operations manager, we had HR manager, recruitment manager, sales manager.
How do you grow yourself with that? Like we just rushed to that bit, but surely you've got to grow from somebody that drives taxis now just take on this milk run to fuck, I need a management team, and I need to manage 85 boys, 60 vans, and I mean, they have 5 distribution centres. They throughout the whole of Scotland, don't they?
Yeah, it was Shotts, Alloa, Perth, Aberdeen, and Inverness.
So you've got them. Yeah, you've got an operation like the whole Scotland wide.
No, absolutely.
I think you kind of. Sorry, I'll let you go on there. I think you downed yourself a wee bit at the start there when you said you didn't have many skills. You've obviously got a skill in something for a company to that level. What do you think that it was for you? Where's your skill? Because you employ people to do the management and stuff like that. Where's your...
Well, I think one of the greatest mottos in life is treat people how you want to be treated. You know, and that's the way I always try to be with my staff. It didn't always work, because you always hired people with the best intentions, but it didn't always work out. But I always thought if I treat people how I'd expect to be treated myself, and if I speak to them in a manner I'd expect to be spoken to myself, then obviously if I hire and recruit right and point them in the right direction, they should then help with the growth of the business. You know, it was no master plan or come up with this genius idea of growing the business.
Did you outgrow people, or did you bring in people that were, I don't know, friends, family that was a bit of resistance with?
Yeah, listen, there was loads of mistakes made along the line, loads of them. On hindsight, yeah, we shouldn't have hired that person. We should, because what it does is it causes friction in relationships. So you hire friends and family. Yeah. Because, you know, I think you expect too much from them. You know, you expect them to be levels above what an everyday employee would be. And of course, you end up, you know, setting yourself up for failure there.
Setting them up for failure, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, there's a lot of friends I've had working for the business, or so-called friends, that, you know, when they leave, then the friendship's never the same again.
Yeah, because they almost look at either the boss or the aye.
Aye.
Do you ever, during your growth spurt there, do you acquire other areas you're talking about? Do you acquire other businesses as well?
Yeah, we were doing buyouts along the way. Yep.
Right. And again, you talked about the management structure. So when you get a management team in, what does your kind of role become then?
I was probably chief firefighter. Was
basically the shit ends for you.
The best way of describing it, absolutely. Ultimately, people have working hours when they go home and there's still a problem. It's the nature of the business, because you're dealing with a live product, which is fresh milk. You all have a certain shelf life to get that out to your customers, right. You know, before it starts turning and things like that. And you know, when the business was at its height, it was a 24/7 operation. We had day shift, back shift, night shift, all different departments running. We had vehicles on the road almost every hour of the day.
Cost must be, because you're talking about warehouses and units and stuff like that, but I take it there's all refrigeration and all that involved in that, and then the vans, what's
a monthly overhead for that business at its peak? I don't know if you remember it, or that's going to be a scary number.
You were talking break even, you're talking 350k a month.
Aye, between all your units, your staff, your vans,
maintenance,
wage bills.
Refrigeration.
That's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
But see, because I grew into it though, it was weird, because if you got parachuted into it, you'd be like, oh,
fucking hell,
shit.
Aye.
But again, it grew quickly. Don't get me wrong, but I feel as if I was keeping up with the growth within it.
Was there any down moments where you just thought, I can't cope with this, this is just too much?
Aye, every day.
glad you said that, because I feel like that most days too.
No,
and I'm very small, I've only got 4 staff.
See, anyone who's ever scaled or runs a business and they tell you otherwise, they're not telling you the truth.
They're a liar.
It's reality, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's no Ferraris, Lamborghinis and Dubai holidays.
No, absolutely. No.
What was it? I mean, I suppose like what Nick just touched on as well, like you've got to have a good skill set somewhere to grow at that level, and for you to grow at that pace with the business. There must be. Did you go and get any, I suppose, support and mentor and help with somebody that's running a business a similar size to go, right, what am I need to put in place here? Or did you just almost figure it out by falling forward?
I had people who were in the industry when Robert Wiseman Dairies, when they went through their massive growth phase back in the 80s. So I had access to some of the guys that were there during that time.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, a lot of what they says now isn't relevant. You know, it was almost like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You know, because what
technology's changed.
Well, that was a big thing with our growth as well, because we got to about eight vans on the road. And of course, at the time, we were going round, knocking on doors to collect in the money on a Thursday and a Friday night. And if each van's delivering, say, 500 customers, right? By the time you get and knock all the doors, there's so many of them not going to be in. So
keep track of who the money's paid, no paid.
So what I done is I go cardless. You know, they were in their infancy at the time. So I got them, and I got a computer software guy to make a program to interlink our CRM system with Go Cardless, and I got every customer that signed up direct debit, which meant I then didn't have to send the vans round to collect in the cash.
Massive.
Which then that's what really supercharged the business after that.
Efficiencies.
Because we're then with half the workload, and we're getting more cash in as well now, because the people that weren't paying it, it's not because they didn't want to pay, they weren't in. They were taking kids to football, dancing lessons, swimming, whatever it may be. But now it's coming out their bank every week, paying them out, man.
Okay, so fancy making £1,000 for sending a WhatsApp? Let's take a wee break to talk about referring sellers to John and Lewis at Prime Property Auctions. Me and Stephen have both done it, and it couldn't be easier. If you know someone selling a property, the guys will pay you £1,000 or 1% of the sale price, whatever's higher, just for passing their details. Doesn't matter if the seller is already with an estate agent or not, just drop the guys a message and they'll do everything from the first call to getting the property sold. Know someone who might be looking to sell or struggling to get a result with their agent? Go to the link in the show notes and send them a message now.
Yep.
And what about the marketing and sales then? Was that all just kept traditional, kind of door-to-door canvassing and stuff like that, or did you go down the route of Google Ads, Facebook, any of that?
We've done Facebook. We used to do some Facebook advertising. Yep. But what we've done is we got...
Seen Stephen's latest Facebook ads? He's sitting on top of a train.
I've not seen that one.
Choo choo! Join the property train.
Right in Pittencrieff Park in Dunfermline, we were going to record a bit of content, and the boy was recording it, but he was like, go and jump up in that fucking train. I was like, aye, alright then.
It caught right up your street.
It worked, by the way, it caught my attention.
What's he doing?
Fuck's he doing now?
You think you're trying it for your business?
I'm trying him as well, mate.
But a big thing we done as well, I thought, like, how can we get some friendly advertising out there? So we designed a company mascot, which we called it Bella. It was a cow costume.
Did you go in the costume?
No, I made sure it was too small for me in the event that we couldn't get anyone to get it.
That's usually what happens, because nobody else wants to do it. So
no, I used to have a couple of guys that used to absolutely love it.
Aye.
So, because we used to dance about and all that, and we used to take it around nurseries and different events.
Aye, that's fantastic.
And I used to have a street advertising trailer, so it was almost like an exhibition trailer. So if we were getting into new areas and things like that, we'd take it down to the local high street, drum up a bit of noise in the area, let people know we're there, get the mascot there, high-fiving the kids, getting a photo with the kids, giving free milkshakes and that out to all the kids and things like that. Then at night time we would get obviously the doorstep canvassers to then get around and knock the local area. But by that time, a lot of people would put us onto their social media, we'd be onto the local community groups. So with a bit of presence in the area before we even knocking on the doors.
Aye.
So it's essentially not cold calling. because we're letting them know we're now in the area, we're going to have people come round and introducing our products to you. So it kind of softened the cold calling approach, you know.
Aye, so the conversion rate was probably a lot higher than...
Do you think you know that line that you talked about obviously getting away from plastic, and obviously it's fully recyclable and all the rest of it, was that the sales line? Did that all... Reusable?
Yes, because recycle and reuse is totally different.
Aye, sorry, got the words mixed up there.
Aye.
But is that one of the main strategies then of getting people on board? And do you think that whole thing of the last 10 years, people have become a lot more conscious about that sort of stuff? Did that help as well?
The big thing that helped that, Nick, was the Blue Planet. It was, what's his name, Attenborough. Richard Attenborough. He done a big programme in 2018 about single-use plastic and how much the seas were polluted and kind of all the fish in the sea and all things like that. So that kind of really opened people's eyes back then, and we had a massive influx of people want to then support the reusable glass that we obviously supplied, and they were wanting to move away from buying it for your supermarkets and things like that, because you only get plastic containers in the supermarkets. So we've seen a big influx just to that. So then, of course, we jumped on that as a marketing strategy as well. You know, for people that didn't see the programme, it was part of our sales pitch.
What happens with the empties again when you get through the glass bottles?
Rinse and return.
Collect them back in.
So when you're finished the milk, you just rinse it out and leave it at your doorstep. Right. And the milkman would come with your fresh bottles.
You get money back for that? Because remember with the ginger bottles?
Unfortunately not, Nick. No.
What was so at this stage, when it was getting at this stage in the business, did you see an exit? Did you think, well, I'm not going to do this forever? Is there an exit? Am I going to cash in?
In 2018, when we introduced the direct debit system, I seen that, right, I know what I can do with this now. I know I can scale it.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to do at that time was scale to some of the major places in Scotland, like your Aberdeens and that. And there was always going to be an exit, say 5 years, with a view of just keeping the one in the Central Belt as, you know, as an ongoing business. But we started growing in Aberdeen in 2019, and then COVID came in 2020. So that kind of put, don't get me wrong, it supercharged all home delivery businesses at the time. But it kind of slowed down the plans we had, because we were trying to open up Inverness in 2020 as well. I was trying to open up all these depots all within maybe 6 to 9 months each other. So obviously we had a bit of time wasted during COVID to open up these, which ultimately was why it took me so long to exit them.
That's quite a growth then, I suppose, up until like 2018. Obviously a big growth in the business. This has been a small business, but then the growth really supercharged 2018 through COVID to find that exit to the multiple depots.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what we've done as well, what I'd come up with was a bit, you'd call it genius if you want, but no dairy business in the UK, what I knew of at that time, had a delivery charge on their service. So I thought, God, if you've got 20,000 customers, just for example, and you stick £1 delivery charge on per week, you do the numbers on that. And how many deliveries do you get to your home where you don't expect to pay a delivery charge on it? Whether it be your Chinese, your Chippy, your Amazon, everybody expects to pay a delivery charge. The only person that wasn't taking a delivery charge was the milkman. So I introduced that, and then overnight,
revenue went up through the roof.
Yeah.
Did you have a bit of worry though that was going to affect still like business?
No, absolutely, and it did. We lost a small amount of customers from it, but what revenue we gained from it was
massive.
Yeah, I always remember, like, again, it's at a different level, very small level, but I always remember having the fear of going VAT registered right at the start, and it's like, I know it's different because the VAT's not actually going into my pocket, it's going straight to HMRC.
But the customer's still paying it though.
But but it obviously adds that on to your customer, and I thought, oh God, I'm going to lose. Like, everyone's going to, because it goes from 10% management fee to 12%, I'll lose all my customers here, and like we lost like 2. And it was just a fear that was in my head that I wasn't.
You know, people expect things to go up, and you know, it's what we found there is, see, when our canvassers went knocking on doors after that, and they mentioned the price of the products they were buying, and then they would give them the total weekly cost, and then that they would say that includes delivery. No one ever challenged it, because it was only the people that weren't paying a delivery charge initially that then some of them thought, oh, wait a minute here, why am I now paying a delivery charge? But most of them were fine with it. Most of them thought, right, fine.
Like you say, it was now part of the society.
You don't expect free delivery.
I suppose, well, you were saying that, but I suppose like I've got so used to like Amazon Prime.
But you pay for that.
You do, you pay for your annual subscription. But I guess when I think about it, my Tesco food shopping, I think that's like £7 or £5 to get delivered. So
well, you phone your local takeaways and things like that. They're not delivering your food for free.
Yeah, no, that's it.
You know, you've got all this snappy shopper and all that as well now. You know, the local corner shop delivering.
Talking about additional revenues. Talking about additional revenue streams then, did you add anything else bolted on? Extra products? Like instead of milk, did you go to any other yogurts, cheese, milkshakes?
When I started, the product range was about a half dozen items, and our website had about 60 different items on
amazing.
It. Whether it be cheese, butter, creams, fruit juices, breakfast packs, bread, you know, lids, carriers, with loads of other stuff that I probably can't even think of just now. But we had about 60 odd different items on it towards the end, and I just try to cater for the wider market. We went down the non-dairy route as well. We started sourcing like an oat milk drink in reusable glass bottles. We done all your Oatleys and things like that. You know, the cartons of oat milk and all the barista things and stuff like that. You know.
Aye. So that would go down well in some schemes and I don't want to say the areas in case I offend anybody, but the barista oat milks.
So was that quite stressful then? That last period exit in between 2018 to grow up the depots for the exit, was it pressurised?
Aye, it was. It was done in stages. You know, we exited Inverness first.
To multiple businesses then, or to?
I sold out to 2 different businesses. Right, so the Inverness business went to the same business that bought the Centralville business.
All right,
yeah. And the Aberdeen business went to a dairy that was operating up there.
Did you find it difficult up there? Like Inverness, I found it difficult. That's why I left home at 18 and got the fuck out. I'm from Inverness.
To be fair, we got up there and there was still a lot of lockdown restrictions in place and that. And the guys I had out doing the job, you know, I wasn't really there that much. I was back and forward a lot, but I certainly hadn't.
It's a long drive, isn't it? Up that A9.
Especially at night, it's just like a dark tunnel, isn't it? You can't see nothing either side of the road.
It's easier now with the Tesla, you just put it on auto steer.
That's even sit back because you almost fall asleep easier.
I know.
But I found the Inverness people easier to deal with than Aberdeen people.
Aye. Aberdeen, it all goes wrong in Aberdeen, man. We're always slagging Aberdeen. No, so obviously we can't talk too much in terms of the exit and stuff like that. So we respect that privacy. But at the peak of that business, just for a clickbait headline, can you give us the turnover figure of that business before you sold? Like
when I first started the business, it was turning over £800 a week. And towards the end, when we still had the 5 depots, we were doing 120 grand a week.
A week?
Yes.
So what would that equate to a year then times? I mean, you're
52.
Go on then. What is it?
Math.
6 mil.
6 mil. Wow.
Good turnover for a milkman business, eh?
That's some scale. Aye. Hats off to you, mate.
Nah, that's good.
Like that's. I mean, just in that alone, I love hearing about. You know, we're here to talk. You know, it is a property podcast, but we do get a bit fed up talking about property after 6 years. So just seeing how somebody's done that from nothing, from driving taxis, delivering Chineses. Sorry,
delivering Chinese to lifting plasterboard upstairs to running people round about steaming at the weekends in taxis to then delivering their milk in the Monday morning.
So you're out of that now, anyway. Do you miss it?
I thought I was going to, but no, I don't.
Better balance of life.
Aye.
But obviously the bank account's looking pretty healthy, right, at this point.
Do you know what would actually really...
I've got a wife and daughters, Nick. So
4, did you say 4?
4 daughters, yeah.
Aye.
Do you know what I really liked about Willie the first time I met him as well? Like he says, came on my workshop and he says, nah, he goes, if you fucking built it with none of your own money, he says, I'm doing the fucking same. And I'm like, so Willie's here to build his property business, but he's not wanting to take the fucking easy route. He's got the hard route.
Good for you.
Wait until you hear the first couple of deals as well.
Right,
like,
let's get into the property stuff then.
First one you did before you even exit, didn't you?
Aye, well, I had my eye on what to do property for, 10 or 12 years now, and I'd just never done it. I was
just a bit of diversification, like.
I was always wanting to get into it. I always felt as if it was a calling for me. I thought, and I still believe that. I believe that I can maybe do something in the property scene, you know. But at the time, I was obviously scaling the dairy business and growing a family, and just I never get around to ever buying a property.
Did you always lease the units?
I just leased them, yep.
Aye.
I never bought my first family home until I was 34, you know, but in terms of property, I dabbled with it last year. I bought a piece of land up in near Errol, which at the time I didn't know how to do proper due diligence on it. I just knew it was an infill, and it had houses across the road for it. And I checked the Fife planning portal, and it had mined to grant on it back in 2013 for houses, subject to the developer at that time signing the Section 75 agreement. So I thought, right, okay, this should be straightforward. And I got the application put into the council and things like that, thinking it was just got to be a formality. And they come back and says that it's in a flood risk zone. Obviously, SEPA's updated all the maps and all things like that, and there's zero chance of there ever been housing going there. And I thought, that's nice.
That's nice. That's a bit aggressive, but
yeah. So I thought, I'm going to sit on it just now. And I thought, could I put pods on it? Could I put some sort of cabins? Could I put industrial on it? Storage containers? I thought everything like that. And in the end, I've just came to the conclusion that I'm never going to use it for anything. So I'm actually in the process of selling it just now.
Right. You want somebody for maybe horses or something like that? Or
yeah, it was the guys at Prime that's dealing with it for us. So I'm not sure who's buying it or that.
That's Prime Property Auctions, good supporters of the podcast.
No, absolutely.
They've got a buyer?
Yeah.
I
believe they're ready to complete on the 6th of October.
Well, that's good to know. Nice one.
So yeah, I got my fingers burnt with that. I think in the end, probably about 40-50k out of pocket on that one. Oof. So that was
because of all your planning, sort of drawings,
because of what I bought it for,
architects and things.
And
like
then
that.
I was architect fees. I had to get the acoustic testing and that done because it's next to a railway line.
Aye.
So I had a few different
like
surveys.
Looking back on that, obviously knowing what you know now that you've done Stevie's course, what could you have done differently, or what do you think?
Well, one of the first things I do now, if I look at land, I check the SEPA maps to firstly make sure it's not in a flood risk zone. Yeah. I check the council's website and that's to see if it's part of their development plan.
See that SEPA, that's public records. You can go on a website and stuff.
You just go to their website and you can scroll about. You know, it's an interactive map. It's got different overlays of, do you want to check for river flooding? Do you want to check for coastal flooding? That kind of thing. So, but if I knew then what I know now, I would never have bought it.
Do you think that was kind of a little bit like was it just a bit kind of, you're a bit naive to it?
100% naive, just jumping in head first, thinking, what's the worst that can happen? You know, it's an infill, it's got houses across fair, it's had planning almost in place before, you know, because I checked company's house and the development company that was going to be doing it, they kind of wound up round about not long after this whole planning went through. So I thought, is that the reason they didn't go ahead with it? Because if you check, you can go to the council portal and you can check to see what the different stages of the planning application was, and it was left at it was minded to grant subject to them signing the Section 75. So, and then obviously they had wound that company up or whatever. And I thought, right, fine, this looks as if I just need to resubmit this. I'll sign whatever I need to sign, and I'll get.
How come there's a Section 75 against it then? Was it a big site for a lot?
It was at that time. It was 7
so
properties.
What was section like? One affordable or something, or 2 affordable?
I can't quite remember what it was, but since obviously then and when I got it, the site had been split. So it went from a site having 7 on it to 2 plots of where 4 was going to be, then where the other 3 was going to be. Right. So I ended up with a site with the 4 on it, which I thought I think I paid 55k for it, and you know the GDV was coming back at 2.5 mil. So I thought this could be quite a good starter for me.
Aye, but unfortunately, it was too good to be true.
Absolutely,
and it just goes again to show, you know, we hear people talking about land deals and new build developments and all that, and it is like quite easy to get excited about that. But again, this is real. You've been through it, and it's not as easy as maybe what some say.
It's definitely not, you know. And I didn't have a property community to tap into at the time either. You know, I'm part of WhatsApp groups, and I've got guys like Stephen in my corner now. You know, so anything I come across now that, you know, I won't just jump in. I'll make sure I'm taking the right advice. Yeah. You know, and you know it's worth its weight in gold. You know, because.
What was the one that you did one after that?
As if I didn't learn my lesson for that one. It was up Aberdeenshire, Fraserburgh. It was a hotel. You know, starting in property, who wants to buy a 17,000 square foot hotel? That's not normally your usual starter pack.
Was it trading or was it empty?
No, it was empty. It was empty. It was valued at 320k. I had an offer accepted on it for 200k.
Wow.
Because I knew the seller was desperate, so I thought, right, okay.
Been on the market for a while?
I think it'd been on the market. I think it'd been on in Alpha a couple of times, but I bought it under auction terms.
Right.
So I had to pay the 10%, plus I had to pay the auction year's fees, I think, and then I had other bits and bobs to pay, and it dragged on for, this was probably about a year ago than now, and it dragged on right through till December, and the reason I couldn't end up buying it was because the seller had a rough divorce with a Russian lady, and it was owned within a company in the Seychelles.
Right.
And if I bought it and brought it back into the UK, she could have had a claim on it. So I had to get paperwork done to safeguard myself, which the seller was refusing to get done. And because I bought it under auction terms, I was kind of screwed. Oh. So I lost 35k on that one.
That's too risky, man. Yeah, you can.
I could have taken the gamble and bought it.
What's your solicitor advising? Fill out?
Absolutely. Yeah. They weren't prepared to represent me without getting the signature.
You don't want to be messing about these Russians as well. You'll end up off the side of a balcony or something like that.
Listen, I wasn't want to be the victim of their divorce.
Aye,
you know,
exactly,
the guy's obviously done her out of that property with taking it offshore, and then I was going to be bringing it back into the UK, and without having the right paperwork in place, she could have had a claim on it.
Yeah, wow. Too risky, yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, we do have Russian listeners as well, just in case. Team we had on the podcast is actually Russian, so no offence to Russians. That was just a wee joke.
I'm glad you went back and caveated that.
But no, that was so again. It's that money. So that's you in another deal where you're losing another significant amount of money.
Yep.
So at that point, you're like, I need to get myself educated here. This is where Stephen comes in, is it?
Aye.
This is me giving you endless plugs the other day, man. This is unlike me, but
I've done a bit of looking about. As you know, there's quite a lot of guys in that space, and I looked about and I was trying to find the right fit for myself, because I wasn't able to just go in and be a 5-minute job, pick all their brains and go on my way. I was wanting to build meaningful relationships and, you know, forward-going relationships. And I went to Stephen's, is it the masterclass in Glasgow, and I just took to Stephen straight away, and I just know, right, this is the guy I want to be round about, you know, and yeah, and we just grew from there.
So tell us about this first deal you're doing, because it's not even a small one either.
So it says before you got a grey BMW?
Silver.
I think the engine might be running. Somebody's just said
No.
you ask people on the podcast to drive a grey BMW.
No, my keys are there.
Is it?
My keys are up there.
None of you's in it, no?
Nah.
Right.
Nah, somebody else.
Ice, the first deal that you concluded on then, our broth one.
Arbroath, yeah.
So this wasn't even a small project either. We didn't even go for a small buy to let. Like,
No. I think going from a 17,000 square foot hotel to a townhouse in Arbroath was
a big massive step down as well.
Aye, but it's still a massive first project.
But I think I'm glad we went deep on the story and the business story, because I think that's what's huge value as well for people who relate to. But like, if you're turning over, you know, a $350,000 a month overhead on a business and turn over $120,000 a week, you're going to go into property. You're not going to go and pick up the $40,000 one bed flat and shots as a fucking buy to let and get your money back. It's not going to excite you, is it? It's not even going to really get you up in the morning. You're going to want something that's a bit meatier to try and.
I think that's what it was. But because of where I was at that time in my life, I was used to bigger numbers, and I'm used to I want to do things on a bigger scale. And there's nothing wrong with starting with the smaller one bed flats and things like that, but that's not where my mindset is.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm fortunate enough that I don't need to start that loading. You know, but albeit, I think you touched on it earlier, I don't want to be scaling a portfolio the easy way, just throwing money at it.
Aye.
Because I want to grow a skill set, then pass it on to my daughters.
Yeah.
For them to then use it, you know, to find their way in life.
Aye, financial education and assets and
absolutely.
Aye, that's good, mate. Sorry, back to the Arbroath one. So the Arbroath townhouse was still a big property.
No, absolutely. I bought that in it was December last year, and I was still running the dairy business at the time. So I just parked it until I knew I was exiting the dairy business in the March, and so I just parked it. And I think I came on your workshop beginning of March, and I still had 1 week left to run to exit the dairy business. Then we just went all hands to the pump with Arbroath, you know, and it was a massive project, you know, a lot more than what I thought it was going to be.
So touch on the numbers then.
So was that like a 6-7 bed townhouse?
Aye.
Traditional sandstone building, isn't it, right on there?
Yeah. So purchase price was 71, plus taxes and things like
71 grand for a 6-bedroom townhouse.
I can imagine the state of it then.
To him.
Well,
Aye, we need. Is there any photos we can see or any?
Aye.
You got some
I've put up some
Have
video.
you got an Instagram or a Facebook or anything like that you put any?
I'm Instagram's Wullie Thomson property.
Aye, so people go and check out just now.
Yep.
And you'll be able to see.
There's a few videos on it of like before and during and after type of thing, you know, right through to the completion on it.
Nice one.
But the property was gubbed, you know, absolutely gubbed. It was a full rip out, full rewire, full replumb, heating system, all new doors, windows, all the red sandstone at the front. It was all crumbling.
What was the kind of backstory? Like, has it just been lying empty for ages?
Well, it was a bank that was selling it. It was a repossession.
Aye.
But the gentleman that stayed in it, some of the regalia we found in it, we thought the place had been a brothel, to be honest with you, because there was some sketchy items left lying about in it.
Plenty of bedrooms in it.
And the bedrooms had CCTV cameras up in the corner of them.
Aye.
So we thought, God, that's a pimp sitting watching, make sure the girls are working.
Either that was featured on OnlyFans.
But it'd been empty for many years. We reckon it'd been 5-10 years. We couldn't get an accurate.
Proper old school brothel, man.
But the condition of it, it was certainly empty for many years.
All right.
You know, and we turned it around pretty quickly, considering the amount of work it needed. It was my first project.
Is that an auction purchase?
It was, yes. Yep. And it wasn't exactly local to me. You know, it was an hour and 45-minute drive every morning and home every night.
You on site most days?
Every day. Every single day.
Doing any work or just overseeing stuff?
Overseeing stuff.
Picking up materials?
Listen, help a wee bit with rip outs and pick materials up and just being the lackey. You know,
No.
I'm happy.
Back to those days where you started out lugging plasterboard sheets up the stairs.
Do you know what, Nick? I'll never ask a man to do a job I wouldn't do myself.
That's brilliant.
You know that?
Aye.
I'm not above anything.
This is where I don't agree with. You talked about finding somebody who you can relate to, right? This is how, like, I can never listen to these guys selling courses that say you need to be the conductor of the orchestra, sit back and assign, delegate everything to somebody. Sometimes you just need to roll up your fucking sleeves and get in and do the hard work, man.
You're chief firefighter.
Know what I mean?
You're running about putting out all the fires and picking up all the pieces and filling in all the gaps. You know, it's just to, even if you've got a good management team in place, you know, there's going to be chinks in the armour. You know, you need to be there straightening them out, and you know, and not afraid to get in and deal with a blocked toilet, or not afraid to go and rip out laughing plaster.
Delegation, great, and you can, you know, you had, what is it, 80 staff. You know, you've delegated to the max.
Aye.
Full management structure in place, but
absolutely.
You see it as well, and see, just you saying that about I would never ask somebody to do a job that I wouldn't do myself. That's just dead refreshing.
Do you know, Nick, I've never once forgot where I came from, and I never will. You know, a lot of people come into money and it goes to their head, and they start thinking their levels above people. You know, it's never been me, and it never will be me.
Aye, so talking about the, I keep interrupting you, so you keep talking about the figures. How much?
It's not like you, Nick.
I know. Shut the fuck. Right. So how much of the refurb then, and what's the end end project look like, the end value?
Considering when I bought it at the time, I was uneducated and I didn't really know how to price it. I thought the refurb was going to be about 70k. It was nowhere near that. It was a lot more than that.
Like what?
150k.
Right, so that double.
Aye, it was eating money like you wouldn't believe. And I was, do you know what? I had other properties lined up at the time, and I thought I'm just going to throw extra labour into this to get over the line quick, because considering the condition of the property and the amount of work it needed.
What was the main issues? Just everything? Like
everything. It was just damp and rotten and
stripped right back.
Everything.
Roof?
The roof was okay. The only thing we had to do with the roof was sort some of the lead, and we got it checked over with a roofer. They says that's fine, plenty of life in it. So the roof was fine, other than we put a Velox in it, we had to tie in round about it and I get a roofer in. But other than, I think that was the only thing we didn't deal with on the full property. But it's...
Your exit for that, was it going to be Mears or SA? Or
initially we were looking at the Mears route, because we thought, right, it's got to be a 6-bed HMO. You know, we got it at a good purchase price, and if the refurb would have came in at what we thought it was going to be, but no, when we were on the top, we started with the top level, you know, the bathroom, bedrooms and things like that. By the time that was completed and I seen how much of the budget had been ate up, I thought there is no way we're going to complete this project. So what I started doing after that was bringing in like better quality doors, and we were putting a better quality kitchen in and flooring, and you know, we really upped the spec on it after that, because I was then going to target the SA market with it. Yeah.
Right, so conversion wise, what did it end up? It started off a 6-7 bed townhouse. What did it end up? How many?
Right now,
did you split it into different apartments then?
No.
Flats?
It's right now. It's a 6-bed.
Bedroom HMO.
No, it's got change of use to a HMO,
right?
But we don't have a HMO license on it because we're not. But it's set up for a HMO.
Okay.
We've got all the fire doors. We've got all the emergency lighting. The kitchen and the worktop space is all to regulations if we want to use it as a HMO.
Right.
But I'm going to trade it as an SA.
Aye.
So, because it can sleep 12 people.
What's the market then? Who do you get staying at a place like that?
Well, we're hoping to attract maybe holiday makers, maybe contractors. We don't really know at this stage.
So has each room got its own facilities then? Like,
No. There's a bathroom stroke shower room on the ground floor, and then there's a bathroom on the top floor.
Right.
There's quite a lot in the area. Like
people,
quite a lot.
It's right on it. It's right.
Would it be kind of budget travellers then? Do you think, like folk that are? I mean, you wouldn't go there and obviously if it's shared bathrooms and all that, you wouldn't be staying there with family, would you?
Yeah,
It'd be
a couple of families by the seaside, isn't it? Right by the coast.
It could be a large family. It could be a couple of families going on a holiday together, or as I say, it could be the contractor market.
So a caravan parks around it.
Because it sleeps 12, you know, and it's right next to the harbour. It's pretty much central to Arbroath.
Is the Royal Marine based on Arbroath?
Aye.
So that's one of 3 bases in the Royal Marines in the UK as well. So it's a big spot for military as well.
Oh, absolutely. As I say, we'll give it a shot with the SA, and if it doesn't work, we can just revert it to the HMO.
Yeah, at least you've got the license. Well, at least you've got the change of use in place.
Change of use is there.
Sorry, I've got it in my head. I think I'm getting a bit wrong here. I've got it in my head that you did it like a kind of, like an apart hotel thing, where you're kind of room by room, but it's not. It's more like the full thing you're going to be renting out.
Aye, no, it's a full thing. Yeah.
Got you.
What's your nightly rate being put at?
Well, it's not on the market yet.
Just going in it.
We're still waiting on a sofa coming and some tumble dryers.
Another job for you to go up and build that.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Yeah, but it should be on the market hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, something like that.
What are you expecting nightly rate?
Probably 150, 200 £200.
It's quite a hard one to judge, isn't it? Like,
just because of the size of it, isn't it? It's like, for example, if a couple's want to book it, you know, how can you charge them £250 a night? You know, you need to obviously have dynamic pricing on it where, you know, if two's booking it, say it's £140, £150, but then if there's more guests...
Can you use an agent for that? Or because that's pricey, isn't it? Agents are like 18-20%. You thought about... Are you going to use an agent, or are you going to do it?
I've looked at a couple, so I've not made a decision yet.
Just try to see how many phone calls you get.
I got an appraisal and that done on it, and it came back at decent numbers. It was coming back at like 40-50 grand a year revenue. You know.
See, the thing is, have you dealt in that kind of, because basically you're becoming you're into the hospitality industry now, right? So you're going to become a receptionist, hotel concierge. So it kind of gets to the point where it depends on your mentality and how much you can deal with folk calling you up. I can't find the key box. This key box is no the rest of it, and then you might go to a management agent, but you might try it yourself first of all.
No, as I say, I don't want anyone ever knowing any more about my business than I do. So I don't mind getting in about it to start with. Then I know the inner workings of it all, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'll decide, do I want to scale this business model, or do I want to then pivot to a different business model? That's yet to be decided.
No, that's good.
Next one's been, you've got a few on the pipeline there, haven't you?
That's what I'm saying. I ramped up the labour costs on Arbroath with a view of the one in Kirkcaldy. So the one in Kirkcaldy was a children's residential care facility. It's a 12-bed. It's a former residential properties with an extension on it. So that's been in legals now since June, July. I'm having a nightmare, to be honest with you.
Just trying to get over the line.
A company called Melix in Glasgow.
Yeah, they act on behalf of Together Finance, don't they?
Solicitors.
Yeah.
Why are solicitors so slow and just drag everything out? What the hell?
Because what I've done is Arbroath, I just funded it myself, so it's sitting there unencumbered. And so what I've done is I says, right, rather than refinancing it, I'm using it as an unencumbered property to bridge other ones. Right. But because I'm buying that one in Kirkcaldy, and I'm buying another one in Shotts as well as we speak, and I just feel as if it's dragging on forever. This should have been dealt with about 5 weeks ago.
Who'd you put that down to then?
Well, the company I mentioned.
Aye. Sorry, I said, why are solicitors so slow? Why are some solicitors so slow?
No,
we're trying to keep good relationships with people.
Do you know, my solicitor gets back to me quicker than...
don't on this podcast.
He's going to piss off everybody today. Russians and solicitors.
Aye. The dairy people are great. See the people that run dairies and milk delivery people.
So you're still having a nightmare trying to get these ones over the line, but they're looking good for completion hopefully. So then the Kirkcaldy unit, What's the plan with that one?
The plan is I've been speaking to a housing provider in the area. They're potential, because I don't have the keys for it, I can't get them in to see. I've sent them floor plans and things like that, but they want to have a look at it. So I'll wait on their decision to see if they want to take it on as a whole property. But failing that, plan B would be to just turn it back into 3 individual properties. And because it's how close it is to the local hospital and that, I might look at doing some SA with 1 or 2 of them, or maybe because there's a 3-bed, a 4-bed and a 5-bed.
Right, so there's the flexibility in there.
So I don't know, maybe turn one of them into a HMO and would maybe fill it with nurses or junior doctors for the hospital, that kind of thing. So I'm unsure. I think I'd spoke to you about this before. I'm unsure about where to go with it.
I suppose until you get the keys, still that housing provider looks at it as well. You don't know what the exit's going to be.
No,
is it
absolutely.
low-hanging fruit, get their income and move on to the next project, or is it split up a wee bit and... Aye.
Don't get me wrong, splitting it up is probably the most profitable, because if I split it up and then I get the refinance on the 3
units.
My initial figures is the purchase price is 210, no ADS because it's a commercial premises, and if I split them, I can split them for about 30k. Will be the renovation cost to split into 3 units.
It's a fairly decent condition, aren't they?
They're great condition.
How'd that one come about to you?
It was on the market and it sat there for ages. I said to Steve, I'm like, how's nobody jumped on this? It's like, it's because it's residential. It's like most investors are looking at just your normal
single unit, single flip, single...
No, they're not looking at commercial premises. And there wasn't a great amount of photographs of it either, because I didn't realise how big it was or the condition of inside it and things like that. And it was on for offers over 250 as well. But I'd went and seen it and I knew it had been on the market for a wee while, so I managed to secure it for 210.
Brilliant. Good negotiating.
Aye, and then...
And what do you think the end value would be on the 3 and then splitting a bit into 3?
Splitting the 3, the end values are coming in at between 450 and 515.
Aye.
Yeah.
That'd be once you change your use, from commercial
change
to
your use and then
residential to commercial to residential.
Split into 3 units.
This is a commercial residential then.
This one's all money out, isn't it?
All money out plus, yeah.
Plus,
What area is that again? Sorry, I think you said at the start, but
Kirkcaldy.
Kirkcaldy.
My hometown.
How come you missed that one?
Wasn't paying attention. Well, I snapped up.
Too busy selling courses.
No, he's in there.
He's been busy with mastering.
Well, he's in there. That's a good one. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I was leaning on Stephen with it, you know.
You got to watch, Nah, he wouldn't do that.
That's one thing I've noticed about the property industry.
Everyone
They did really cut for the shaft folk because there's loads of opportunities there.
The industry I came from was the complete opposite.
If anybody tries to shaft anyone, we'll try and call them out in the podcast. So. We'll be the property police.
The solicitors and
no, definitely, yeah.
And your shots one as well. That what can we a rough overview of that one then before we finish up?
Aye, the shots one is that's a purchase for the wife. She's going to do a wee SA local to where we live. So
you can get involved in the business as well, and
yep. She wasn't initially wanted to be involved with property, but I think she's starting to soften up a bit towards it. So I would give her something to do, because she was a big part of the dairy business and the growth of that. So since obviously we exited that, it's.
She's getting bored now.
Aye. There's only so many lunches you can have a week.
Exactly, Paul. No, that sounds good.
But the figures on that one, the purchase price was 150, and we're looking to spend about 50k on the refurb, and the end value will be 250, 260 on it.
A wee bit left in, but it'll be a good asset.
It'll be left in, but it's a great asset.
Local at you as well.
Is this kind of like sparked a kind of new passion in you? Like, because obviously the business was such a big part of your life. Do you kind of become a bit, does this give you a kind of fresh kind of outlook and a bit more sort of passion about something new?
No, it has.
Getting into property?
No, I love a new challenge, because I can build a dairy business with my eyes closed. I really could. I've had some of the bigger dairies in England try to entice me down there to do it.
Yeah, like as a consultant sort of thing?
For them to supply me, me to then grow businesses down round about their areas. But I don't have an appetite for it. I really want to go and try and do something in property.
That's great.
You know, I've got a few things up my sleeve with new builds and things like that I'm looking at just now. You know, which they're nothing concrete, but there's a few sites that's potentially going to be coming up, and I've got a keen eye on them.
So it's fair to say then that the buy to let, you know, cash flow £300 a month, that's not really for you, that strategy, or would you still look at it if it was like a portfolio maybe, or
I wouldn't right at this stage of my journey. It's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But I will have them in my portfolio.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're open to anything that's basically numbers what?
Absolutely. Yeah. I see myself buying several portfolios in the future.
Okay.
But right now, I want to build up some good cash flow coming out of the new property business.
And then what, reinvest it?
Yes. Yeah. You know, we're looking at doing apart hotels and that kind of thing.
Aye.
You know, so as you say, it's
exciting stuff. It's early days, and it's great, like you said, to catch you so early on with big ambitions.
Well, that's it. When Stephen asked me to come on, I thought I'm a bit early in my journey.
That's brilliant.
And but when I thought about it, I'm like, no, I think it'd be good to reflect back on.
Aye.
You know,
This will live on YouTube for generations, so your daughters will be able to watch it
outlive
back
me,
as
Nick,
well.
that's for sure. But
And your wife will be like, I only go for 2 lunches a week. What's he talking about?
But you know, I'll be interesting to look back as the years pass by to see right how far we've came.
Yeah.
You know, because I kind of wish I'd done that with the dairy business. You know?
Aye, imagine that.
I imagine you'd be coming on a podcast in 2018
Aye.
and had a conversation with someone. Your mindset would have been different. Where you would have been in the business would have been a completely different place to 5 years later.
Oh, absolutely. Because everywhere I used to go in my local town, they all knew how well the business was doing and how much we were scaling, and everyone used to compliment you. Oh, you're doing great. We see your vans everywhere and your lorries on the road. And
Aye. Billy Connolly's even driving them.
Billy Connolly. Well, I'll live on forever in Billy Connolly's book.
That's
there's
it.
a picture of my milk float in Billy Connolly's book.
Fantastic.
The logo
So,
presence.
it was a great story. Really appreciate you sharing it with us.
No,
mate.
You know, if anybody's, you know, we're all about building the community and stuff like that. You know, I know you're probably doing your own thing, but if anybody wants to reach out, you did say you didn't have an Instagram page, or
Aye, if anybody wants to reach out, I'm on Instagram, Wullie Thomson Property. I'm also on Facebook as William Thomson, and
Brilliant.
you know, I've got a TikTok account, and just all the usual socials. But if anybody wants to reach out, you know, connect, coffee, whatever,
Aye.
you know, I'm open to anything.
great stuff. You've plenty of time in your hands now, anyway.
The now I have,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you're waiting for the conveyancing.
Right, fantastic.
Thanks a lot, Willie. Cheers, pal.
Oh, thanks, guys.